Hi everybody. This is Picklebilly Jan, and thank you, Lawrence, for agreeing to come on Picklebilly Presents and talk about pickleball and all of the things that you're doing. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
So, when I first started talking to you, you said you're the trifecta, and you just cracked me up. Go ahead, lay it on us. What's a trifecta?
Well, I played tennis in high school. I played I was on the team in 10th grade, but I actually only played in 11th grade. And I played second singles, and that was my tennis background. Now, I did play tennis afterwards. I played I arranged a tournament. Well, I guess I was arranging tournaments earlier. I arranged a tennis tournament in law school, and happened to win both the singles and the doubles.
Yes.
And then I played tennis very rarely after that.
Yeah. No, I know you have a huge sports background. No, you said something like, okay, this is the trifecta. You said, I'm Jewish. That part, I thought that was really funny. Yeah.
Oh, yes. Well, the trifecta as far as not being able to answer a yes or no question, yes and no. Yes, I'm Jewish. I'm from New York originally, and I'm a retired attorney. So those three things together makes it almost impossible to answer anything yes or no. And usually, I would do my best today to keep it within the half hour that you have allotted for the interview, which we could probably go through Wednesday.
Yeah, I know. No, I know. We so Jewish from New York, watch out, and an attorney.
Well, actually, in about a week, I will have been in North Carolina for 40 years.
Okay, in North Carolina.
Yeah.
Okay, so and it was interesting that you said pickleball changed your life. I mean, it impacts everybody, significantly. But let's start with that. I mean, that's a huge statement. And so, can you please explain that? How has it transformed your life?
Okay. Well, when I went to my doctor's office for a checkup towards the end of February of 2020, I weighed 300 pounds. I then met with one of the physician's assistants on March 12th, and she told me about the keto diet. So I started on the keto diet then, and that went up to January. Oh, I'm sorry, not January. July 10th.
Mm-hmm.
So 12th to July 10th, I lost 54 pounds. And then on July 10th, I was sitting at the park called Lake Johnson, where I had been instructed to, well, I hadn't been instructed to specifically walk there, but it was the park closest to my home. So I went there walking. July 10th was the fourth time I had gone walking. So I really wasn't catching on with the walking thing. I mean, they wanted me to walk like, at least every other day. It was the fourth time in 4 months. On the way home, I stopped at Method Community Center, which has 6 pickleball courts in the back. There used to be 2 tennis courts, there are now 6 pickleball courts. In the back, far on the right side, there's 3 on the left and 3 on the right, divided by a fence in the middle. Just on the right side, there was nobody else there except for these 3 people. I think 1 or 2 sitting and the other standing. And I went up to them to ask them a few questions because I literally just heard about pickleball about a week before in a Zoom call with someone I had been talking to on Match.com. That didn't go anywhere. However, pickleball did. So they said. So I don't remember who the people were. I don't remember exactly what was said, but they answered my questions, and I turned to leave. And they said, "Well, why don't you play? Our fourth is not here yet." Meaning they had 3. They wanted to play doubles. They said, "Do you want to play?" And I said, "Well, I just told you I've never played before." They said, "Well, you have a tennis because I have a tennis background. I had a ping pong table in the basement for about 15 years, and I even took a badminton class in college." And so I played. All I remember is I played with a woman, and we won. I'm guessing I hit a few shots over the net. But my guess is that she was pretty good, and I won. I then left and had the idea that was fun, and maybe I should not play ever again. I could finish undefeated, just uh,
Yeah.
they had lent me a Gamma paddle,
Yeah.
and I then went to Dick's Sporting Goods, played against Sam's, Target, all the places where I imagine they may have pickleball equipment. They did, but no one had a Gamma paddle. So I went on Amazon,
Hmm.
my daughter's account, because I'd never been on Amazon before, and I ordered the Gamma paddle. I actually ordered two because I thought one should have a backup. Uh, they One of the paddles arrived on July 14th of 2020.
Yeah.
So I just celebrated my one. That's what I consider my first day of playing. So I just celebrated my 1 year anniversary. Since
Okay.
since then, I mean, I don't have it exactly mapped out, but my best guess is I have only missed between 25 and 30 days since then of not playing.
Yeah.
I mean, I played with a group that has since kind of broken up. We only play every so often now, but we were playing every morning at 6:30 in the morning, even when it was 23 degrees out.
Yeah.
I couldn't even
Wow.
I couldn't even feel my fingertips.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay. So, that's amazing that first of all, you lost all of that weight with the keto, but then it sounds like you kind of started this physical regimen. And was that difficult? I imagine it was. And then how did you keep your interest and motivation and to get through those struggles? Because, when you're not used to being physically active, it's difficult. Your body's right, not used to doing all of that. So how did you get through that part?
well, you're absolutely correct because I had literally not exercised in 30 years.
Yeah.
I mean, my kids all played sports, so I was out there on the soccer field, just kicking the ball. But as far as running,
Yeah.
no, between 250 and 300 pounds, I wasn't running a lot.
Right.
Uh, and I did get more mobile as I lost the weight. So the first 54 was taken by keto. I think it's now been 3 weeks, 3 Mondays ago when I had my last doctor's appointment.
Yeah.
The scale at that point was 214.8. So I passed the 85-pound barrier, and I'm thinking that I've probably lost a bit more since then. Uh,
Yeah.
I'm now making a more concerted effort. I'm doing intermittent fasting again, which I had stopped for a while.
Yeah.
It's actually fasting every other day for a while.
Yeah.
The weight literally, I've never had a diet that worked so well. The weight literally just poured off of me.
What's the difference in how you feel? What are the specific differences? And what I'm hoping is that I think there's a lot of people who would love to add more exercise and more sociability. And so I'm really glad that you're sharing this story. I think it's interesting. I think it'll be beneficial to others. But now, how do you feel? What's the difference? Like, what is the new feeling that you have? Mental clarity, perhaps? Physicality? What is, how does that transformation feel?
Well, everything. I mean, for one thing, I was on high blood pressure medication, cholesterol medication. Uh, I was taking a shot of Trulicity once a week for diabetes. I'd never been insulin dependent, but
Yeah.
I was diabetic. I had the high blood pressure was an issue.
Yeah.
I take nothing now. I do not
Yeah.
take. All I take is vitamins. I'm not
Oh
on
my
any.
gosh. Is that amazing?
Yeah.
That is like, that's huge. And how many people are using medicines with illnesses that could be fixed with diet and exercise?
And pickleball.
And what? Oh, and pickleball.
Pickleball, without question, pickleball. Yeah, I
Yeah.
have, and the other thing is, even when I played tennis, okay,
Yeah.
let me, this is information, I'll probably give a little too much, but I need to share it.
Yeah.
When I was on the team in 11th grade, I was second singles. Coach Russ Baston, who was the tennis coach, he's unfortunately passed away, uh, he made me second singles, which is actually a gift. First singles was Jeff Siegel. He unfortunately also recently passed away. Used to live right across the street from me where I grew up, and Jeff played first singles because he was the senior. Even though he had never beaten me, Coach Baston put me at second singles, and I thought that was fine. I was coming back my senior year, and he basically promised me first singles. But then, of course, I didn't go out to the team. That's a whole other story that we don't have time for today.
Yeah.
But so we played 12 matches, each against other schools. Each match contained 3 singles and 2 doubles, so it was a 5-point system.
Mm-hmm.
So for the 12 matches, there was the possibility of our team winning 60 points the entire season. We won 3. I won 2.5 of them. So I was 2 wins, 9 losses, and 1 tie. Because he had to give somebody the MVP award, he gave it to me because I was the only one who won a match. Our first doubles team tied a match. And it's interesting. The reason I was 2 wins, 9 losses, and 1 tie, we played on Friday. We had matches on Friday. My sister was being bat mitzvahed that Friday, and once it was tied at 1 set apiece, I had to leave early.
Yeah.
And the other 2 matches were won. I don't remember if it was 2 sets or 3 sets, but we played best out of 3 sets.
Yeah. You know what's a couple observations. It's really interesting. Like, you've got all these names and these things, and you sent me information before this interview, and it seems like very crystal clear all of the different things that you've done in your life. Very interesting. Not everybody's like that. Right. I'm not like that. So that's really interesting. But also the fact that you've had a lot of success in sports, and you've played a lot of sports, and it's interesting that you got away from that in a lot of your life, but you're now coming back to it. And I know you said you're playing 3-5 and you're playing in tournaments and getting partners. And so I bet that must feel really good to get back into sports and the competition.
Absolutely. Because I never played at this level before. I mean, to be playing in tournaments, to be running tournaments, to know so many people in the pickleball world. I mean, one of the biggest things I have, if you go to I love Pickleball North Carolina tournaments that I've run. The first one I ran on May 1st and 2nd of this year.
The
second one I ran on July 17th and 18th, just last weekend. The sponsors that I have there. I mean.
Wait, what's it called? Hey, Lawrence, I'm going to make a banner and put it across the bottom right now. It's I Love Pickleball North Carolina.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
.com.
Yeah. Well, it's the shirt that I have on. This is the logo that my birth father, Don Blauweiss, created back in March when I was going to do my first tournament. I wanted to have a logo, and I wanted to also have something to put on the T-shirts. Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Okay, no. We are getting a little bit ahead of ourselves because you have jumped into the tournament area. Yeah. And as pickleball continues to grow, there's going to be more people who take this up. Like me, oh my gosh, it would be such a steep level of knowledge accumulation to run a tournament. It would seem overwhelming to me. So why did you get involved in running tournaments? And then can you give us some tips on how you're doing it? And then also tell us, some of the ones coming up. And, so first of all, why start doing tournaments? And how do you do it?
Let me just back up a little bit.
Okay.
Last December, I woke up one day that it was raining, and I decided to start a league at Method Road where I play. And ultimately, we had 40 teams with 80 players playing regular matches over the time period. That was identical to the fantasy football league that I had started. I actually used the same schedule for the fantasy football teams as I did for the teams playing in the tournament in that. And as far as just being able to organize things and put things together, it's just something. I mean, it's never been a pickleball tournament before, but I've always done things like that.
Yeah. Okay.
The law firm.
So brackets and people moving up, and you're familiar with that. Okay, so you had that background.
What I did is I attended in March of this year. I attended 4 tournaments. I went to Lake Hartwell, Georgia. I went to Myrtle Beach. I went to Kingston, Pennsylvania, and I went to Richmond. This was all in the month of March.
Yeah.
Uh,
So were you doing that to scope it out, or were you just going to play?
both. But the
Yeah.
thing is, I didn't medal. I got pretty much creamed in every single tournament because since I don't have a partner that I travel with, so I was finding partners off the needs of partner list. And it's
Yeah.
just that we weren't experienced enough together. Although I mean, some we did better than others, but we didn't medal, and that's okay. I don't
Yeah.
the medals.
I'm just saying you're going there, but you were going with the intention of seeing how they did it and then deciding which parts of it you liked or disliked for your own
Exactly.
tournament. Okay.
Absolutely. Each tournament director, I spoke to them, and they took the time to let me watch what they were doing during the time period that I wasn't playing. And yes, I
Oh,
took it all together, and I created my own tournament, such as my swag bag. Uh, I attended the Virginia Pickleball Classic about 3 months ago, and they had a very nice shirt, a very nice bag that had designs on it and all. And inside the bag, there were some coupons to try to win some free paddles, but as far as giveaways in the bag, there was a pen.
a
Just
pen.
a pen. Yes, from
Right.
Tuskegee Orthopedics. That was it.
Yeah.
Okay. Uh,
You
and
wanted more?
well, it's not that I wanted more. I wanted to give people more.
Right.
So,
But okay, because that's what you, because, yeah. Okay. Got it. Yeah.
so what I give people now is Dick's Sporting Goods. Uh, even though they said it took 60 to 90 days to approve a sponsorship, I called them up and I said, listen, I'm having a tournament in 3 weeks. That's all the time I had to get ready for both of my tournaments was 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Uh, and they sent me 800 coupons, uh, $10 off, $10 off, $20 off, and then 20% off. Now,
Yeah.
20%. You walk into Dick's, if you're a coach and you spend $1,000, you could save $200 with that coupon.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was what, and then there's just other things. The more recent one I got is Bubby's Pickles, which is they're a West Coast company. It's just a pickle company. But
Yeah.
this is an easy.
You mean pickles? Like you eat pickles?
Yeah. Bubby's Pickles.
Okay. Okay. Buddy. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
And this is an easy gripper. They sent me 250 of these and 250 50-cent off coupons. And I simply
Wow.
gave them away to everybody. Now, on this is very cute. It says Bubby's in the middle, right? And then it says, eat my pickles, marry a doctor, wear clean underwear. That's what your Bubby would say to you.
There you go.
Yeah.
Here's your 3 helpful tips for today.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's the same. Andy's Frozen Custard. They gave me free ice cream coupons that I gave out to everybody. Wegmans, I gave out Wegman bags. I've done that in both tournaments. Mookie's New York Deli, the best
Yeah.
New York deli in the area. They gave
Yeah.
me a free appetizer if you come eat there.
Yeah.
Jersey Mike's gave me $1 off coupon. I mean,
Yeah.
everybody gives me something. I didn't charge them any sponsorship fees. I just
Yeah.
wanted something to give away to make it more interesting for the people that came in.
I love it. And I think you told me that you went into a local sporting goods store, and then didn't they give you a lot to support you?
And I'd be amiss for not saying it. Yes, I went into Omega Sports. I was only going in there just to see if they had a pickleball display. They had an amazing pickleball display. They're the only store that I've seen that actually had Paddle Tech, which is one of the major companies. Many of them, like Dick's Sporting Goods and Walmart, they have other brands, but this was the first one. But by the time I walked out of there, they took my flyers, they put them up on the bulletin board. They gave me 2 $25 gift cards to raffle off, 2 $10 gift cards to raffle off. Then they had a box of old water bottles. There were about 60 of them. They just said, "Here, take it. We're not using them anymore." So I just ran raffles since I had about half as many as I needed for all the people that signed up for the tournament. So I just I put in every other bag had a winning raffle. So they
Okay.
you got to
Okay,
work.
so you're reaching out, you're finding people are willing to sponsor, to donate prizes, and so that's part of it. Okay, now here's the part I don't even want to, let's get into it. This is the part that would just overwhelm me is how do you keep track of the brackets? How do you keep track of the score inputting? And then do you have referees?
No, because we're not sanctioned.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
actually, at the North Carolina state games, the body armor state games that were 3 weeks ago in Cary, North Carolina, that were run impeccably by Joe Borelli, who's the tournament director.
Yeah.
Along with setting up the courts, which I learned how to do. UB Albert showed me how to do that. He had me work with him.
Yeah.
Setting up the nets, which I knew how to do because I've done that before, putting the nets together.
Yeah.
And then I was called upon when I wasn't playing to referee about 12 matches. Two or three were medal matches. In fact, one guy who I play with practically every day at Method Road came. I'm pretty serious. He came up to me afterwards. He goes, "Are you certified?" Because evidently I had done a good enough job. And I said, "No, you know I'm not certified. I'm just volunteering. I was a volunteer. That's all." But I did in my tournament this past weekend. Since I like doing it for 2 gold medal matches, I refereed the matches. In my own tournament.
Yeah. Yeah, they do that. I've done the same thing. My husband refereed an important match, and he'd never done it. And the players were actually kind of pointing him in the right direction. So he's like, "Oh, thank you."
But you know the most genius thing that's been invented for refereeing, because if you know the scorecards, you kind of flip them over when it's the other team. So
yes,
is a wooden clothespin that and you put 1 on it and 2 on it, and then you just turn it around for first serve or second serve. Because as you know, we can never remember who's serving, what the score is, what the positions are. It just happens.
Yeah, I know some people use a clothespin and they just put it where it's supposed to be to remember. And I would say anyone watching this, if there's an introductory referee courses and they're growing the referee talent pool, it's worth it just to take that introductory, even if you don't become, top level or just to get that will make you feel more confident if you do have to step in or, to help ref, because those are everywhere. So, so you have put on how many tournaments?
Okay, I put on 2 tournaments so far.
Yeah.
I have a third one scheduled for September 18th and 19th at the same location at Net Sports in Morrisville, North Carolina.
Okay. And so what do you think, how do you want to improve? What did you learn from your first 2? What are your takeaways?
Okay. Well, in the first, I think experience is the most important thing, knowing what to do with the program. Although reality is, I think just being computer savvy. Last night I sat down with the tournament. We're not listing him as a tournament director because he's only 15 years old. I'm listed as the tournament director for the upcoming tournament. But I sat down in his kitchen last night with him and his mother, and we fixed a lot of the things that were wrong online with the third tournament. There were just some things that had to be. Well, first of all, we didn't give proper recognition to our main sponsor. And there were also some other technical things. What's going to be different this time is we're going to, and people say you can't do this, so but I believe we can, is everything will be set up and there'll be a group. So say you're playing in a 3.5 women's doubles, and let's say there are 6 teams. Well, we're going to send all 6 teams out onto the court, and you're going to play. Everybody's going to play a game. Then you're going to, as soon as another game finishes, the bottom line is you're going to play all the teams in your group while the 3 of you are out on the. Well, I'm not sorry. While the 6 of you are out on the court. I mean,
I see. Get it done.
Yeah.
Does that make it more efficient time-wise for everyone's time?
Well, I mean, if I mean, if it's a group of 6, you're going to play 5 games. I mean, that should be less than 2 hours. I should be able to schedule things. If we start at 8 o'clock in the morning, I should be able to start at 10 o'clock with the next group. And if it's only, I could do men's, say 3.5 and women's 3.5 if it's the same amount of teams, because I have 6 courts at Net Sports.
Yeah.
So that will work better. Unfortunately, what has happened in the past is that the program doesn't allow you to do that. Even when I went down to Atlanta recently and played, is the first time I got to see the professionals play, which was rather amazing. And even then, I had a match at 1:30, and then I believe the next one was like 4:30. And the heat that day, I mean, no excuses. I mean, we lost. I mean, it was the first time I played 4-0, and I thought I could do better. Evidently, maybe I overstepped my bounds. Just real quickly, the neatest thing about that day is that as a volunteer, I was made a ball monitor on center court. I sat in the corner of center court and I sat through 2 matches that were best 3 out of 5. I was there for 3 hours. Well, of course, there were breaks in between. But I sat there, and if the ball rose to my feet, I got to pick it up and I got to toss it to them.
Yeah.
But there was one thing that was very important, and none of my friends will believe this. I was not allowed to talk to them. Not even to say, because they were very polite. They said thank you when I tossed them the ball, but I didn't even say you're welcome. I did not want to take the chance of them saying he talked, he has to leave. But nobody believed me, especially with the trifecta I told you about earlier, that I did not talk for 3 hours. There's not a time.
How did you? Yeah.
I just wanted to be there that badly. And the thing is, if you don't believe me, if you watch the Selkirk, I'm sorry, one of the companies, they do the video, and I'm behind the server when the camera is facing in that direction.
Oh, how awesome! How awesome!
That made the whole thing. The other thing that was great is that since it was such a big tournament, they didn't send someone from the office there. They sent the heads of the companies, the president. I met the president of Pickle Play, and they were a sponsor. And I mentioned, we had some of the cards, we had some of the stickers, but I didn't have a banner. So she takes out a banner that's about 2 feet by 3 feet. She says, "Here it is." I said, "Well, do you have anything bigger?" She says, "Hold on." She reaches underneath the table. She pulls out this big box. Inside are 3 banners, and she pulls out, and it's the banner I'm now hanging at my tournament. And the other thing is,
because you were there, and she was there, and so you were able to get that.
Folded up, they fold up. It went inside my briefcase. Ultimately, it was in a box that I shipped home from Atlanta because they were charging so much for luggage that I shipped all my stuff home in a box. To save.
Wow.
And then for my tournament just last week, I had waited till the last minute to call them, but I had spoken to her. She remembered who I was, so she sent me a box that had a Pickle Play shirt on it, a Just Paddle shirt on it. The Pickle Play one I wore during my tournament to advertise Pickle Play because I was real happy. It's a real nice looking shirt. And then there were the Pickle Play stickers that everybody loves. Well, they sent me 100 of those to give out. And in fact, I have some left over that I'm giving to Tracy Taylor, who's running the Bull City Open this weekend. She wanted extra stuff just to give away. And there's one other key thing. She wanted wind shears. So she said, "Can I have your banners to hang on the fence at Bethesda Park in Durham, where the tournament is?" I mean, do you think any of my sponsors?
Wait, what? Wait, your banners for your tournament?
Yeah. She said she needed the wind shear.
Yay! Yeah. Wow, how nice! How nice.
She's doing me even more of a favor. She allowed me to put a flyer in every single player's bag with the potential of them, because she has 228 people playing.
Yeah.
And of the 228, I counted about 210 are from North Carolina. It's a local tournament because Tracy's incredible. Everybody comes when Tracy does something, and she does such an incredible job.
Yeah.
So she let me do that. Also, I have a banner that I have to pick up at Staples today that has the logo, and on the right side of it has all the information about the tournament, when it is,
Yeah.
and the side of it. The other thing is I have 10 cases. Oh, there it is. 10 cases because this is logo printing. Logo label printing is my sponsor. They gave me 4 cases for my tournament. They're giving me 10 cases to give away at Tracy's tournament this weekend. And on the back side here it's blank, but on the ones he's giving me, it's going to have all the information about my tournament. So
Oh my gosh.
we'll have
Wow.
100 people the first 2 times. I'm hoping to get 200 because I believe I can play 200 people now that I've done a new schedule. And it's going to be on me if it doesn't work, but I do believe it's going to work because I don't need the computer to print out the matches. I have blank sheets. I will have
Yeah.
court monitors out there while those 6 teams are playing, and we'll simply
Yeah.
record the scores afterwards.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh wow. How exciting. How
It is.
exciting. And I
It
can
is.
tell you've got like 50 more ideas brewing back there, don't you? I already, yeah.
Everything that happens for a reason. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's just like every day. It's like what's going to happen today.
Yeah. Well, I just have to say, I really appreciate your support of Picklebilly hosted housing, and that you see that as a viable, how it can benefit you and how it can just benefit our whole community. And I just wonder, is there something more I could do to support that or to get it out to your players? I was thinking, maybe I should make have banners made to give to tournament directors if they want to, to put it up, because Picklebilly hosted housing is not a one-shot deal. Like, it's really not just so you'd have houses for people playing in your tournaments, but it's your tournaments ongoing, and if you're going to keep going, you're going to keep growing it.
Well, I personally think the idea is brilliant because before I started doing tournaments, I was an old guy living on a Social Security check and traveling around and paying hotels. I mean, in Myrtle Beach, it was close enough to where a friend lived. In Southport, it was an hour drive, but that worked out okay. When I went to some of the other places, my high school reunion is on August 14th. On August 13th, I'm playing in the New Jersey Open because, of course,
right.
Because I'm traveling.
Of course you are. Yeah.
What's amazing about that is Jonathan Clay is the tournament director for the New Jersey Open. He also happens to be the president of Kitsch Pickleball. He sent me an email saying he wanted to make my shirts and he basically said whatever I can think of, whatever to put my logo on, that he's going to be able to do. So when I go up,
is that his business? Wait, is that his business? Is that what he does?
Yes.
Oh,
he's the president. It's on the email. It says president owner Kitsch Pickleball.
Oh.
So I was blown away when I got that, and now I'm getting other contacts like that. I've had someone contact me wanting to do my medals, but I have a local Crown Trophy that does my medals. Someone the hotels just contacted me. They want to be along with you. And by the way, that meeting last night, I gave them the information. So Picklebilly hosted housing will be on my tournament site and will be forever on my tournament site. So you can count on that. Yes, you're absolutely. Banners will be helpful, and making contact to other tournaments so that it could be on the flyer on tournament pages. That's what will be best because it can be grown. It is the perfect thing for this. It's absolutely perfect. It's a brilliant idea that you came up with.
Okay. Well, a lot of people have had the idea. I've talked to a lot, like Lucy Kitcher, she runs tournaments. And so she told me that, 5 years ago, she'd had that idea, but, it's like, so, but now developing the concept and making it happen and running with it.
Right.
But, a lot of people, I think, kind of instinctively with pickleball, with how social it is and just like you say, how much it costs when you're traveling and how much you pay for things. So let me know if there's anything else that you would like me to do or any way I can support it or just make it more streamlined or accessible, because I'm just, getting feedback will really help me to develop it, to make sure it's the best user experience for you and for everybody else. So,
Well,
but I really appreciate that, Lawrence.
Yeah. Well,
Thank you.
I think that what would be helpful is to just put things out there, like on Facebook, because
Yeah.
one of the things I think I mentioned to you, I have joined every pickleball group that I can on Facebook.
Yeah.
So when I send a message out, I think the latest total was about 150,000 people. Now I realize some people belong to multiple groups, so but
Yeah.
it's still hitting. I mean, people go, why are you sending it to San Diego? Why are you sending it to Austin, Texas? Why are well, because people travel. I mean, my first tournament, I had two people from San Jose, California come and play.
Yeah. Well, when you say that, because I do post about Picklebilly on all the different sites on Facebook and just say, here's what it is. But for you to get 150,000 people, are you saying you're sending letters directly to, or you're posting it? Like, how are you getting that kind of?
Well, I simply click share and then group, and then I send it to each individual group.
Right. Okay. And then, okay.
So for example, the I don't know, the 1.2 thousand members of the North Carolina pickleball group, they get that.
Yeah, that's true.
And
Pickleball Forum has 45,000 people.
Yeah, they're clearly the largest, but I mean, but everywhere. I mean, there's I have like 3 groups in Florida. There's 3 groups on Long Island. But what the most amazing thing is that my first tournament, I had a lot of people from out of state, from all over the country.
Right. That's right. And that's the way people are traveling and playing pickleball.
However, and of course, this totally makes sense. My tournament last week, 5 people from out of state, everybody else local.
Yeah.
Because COVID was over, people were going on vacation with their families, not so much playing pickleball. Now, some are. Like I said, the one in Durham, the one at Bethesda Park in Durham this coming weekend, 228 people, 210 from the state of North Carolina.
Right. It's growing the out-of-staters.
Yeah. So I mean, so to reach out locally, but I also reach out nationally too. And it's just amazing to have all these contacts. When I go places now I go by Larry, although my name is officially on my birth certificate, it says Lawrence, but I go by Larry. So when I walk in somewhere, someone goes, "Oh," because they see me on my Facebook post, because I'm rather not shy, surprising there. And so, when they say, "Oh, you're Lawrence," they're like, I know where they see me. It's
right.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not completely comfortable with this, but there's a good friend of mine, Corey Goodman, at Method Road. He's nicknamed me the mayor.
He's going to what?
He's nicknamed me the mayor at Method Road. Because
the maker?
No, the mayor.
Oh, the mayor.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Like the sheriff.
Well, I'm not bringing any justice to anybody. It's just that, because there's been a number of things that happened there. There was an area parking lot of the courts that was grass that got muddy, and people would bring mud onto the courts. Well, a friend of mine, Renee Lamar, and I, we simply said, well, we'll fix it. So we went to the quarry in North Raleigh. He has a small pickup truck. We loaded it up. We brought it back, and we put the lockdown that you can now walk. Wow. Then there was, I mean, for the longest time, we didn't have anywhere, because the indoor was closed because of COVID. You had to drive maybe about 2/10 of a mile to Waffle House to go to the bathroom, unless you wanted to go in the woods. Yeah. So they put a porta potty, but they put it right next to the court. Well, someone said, "It smells, Larry, get it moved." So I called up the company, and the next time they came, they moved it.
Yeah.
There were bleachers in the backwoods that because we wanted to be COVID, we wanted to be apart. So a bunch of us one morning just carried the bleachers from the woods outside the gate. So we're just making our own improvements as we go along. And I again, I've never been shy about simply asking people to help. I mean, the worst thing
Yeah.
that's to say is no.
Yeah. Well, it seems like you have your hands in all aspects of it, and a lot of people are benefiting from your efforts. And I really just hope too, doing an interview like this is, to make you more familiar. So to say, okay, I love pickleball North Carolina, people know about that, and to realize everything you're doing, and people could reach out to you if they want to come travel or if they have questions about anything, and really, like, we know we've met so many people, so it's like I just love the fact now that more people get to know this person,
Well,
you, and
well,
like
and
we're in our community together.
well, just real quickly on that, my children asked me to go on Facebook in 2008 because they said, "Hey, Dad, we're going to high school, we're going to college. This is how we're going to communicate."
Yeah.
About March of this year, I hit 400 friends, which I thought was a good amount. I mean, it was a lot. A lot of those are friends from high school. I keep in contact with over 100 friends from high school and other places.
Right.
If you now look at my Facebook page, you will see, I believe, I have 1,927 friends now.
Yep.
That's all from pickleball.
Yeah.
It's utterly,
Right. I know.
it,
Well, yeah. I always friend pickleball players because I want them to join Picklebilly,
right.
and so it just keeps going.
Free advertising, free marketing.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, well, we have. I did say I would keep it at a half hour, but Larry, you have just pushed the limits here.
I did warn you.
No, I know we could talk for. I know, but I do look forward to keeping in touch with you and to following what you're doing, and just let me know if Please post your tournaments on Picklebilly. Thank you again for believing in the concept, and
If I could just mention one thing about the September tournament, because it's different than the one way, it's different than the first two.
yes,
The logo label printing. Uh, I'm very excited about.
keep talking. I got to turn off my vacuum. Keep
Okay,
talking.
sure. That we're going to be able to offer cash prizes for the first time, and I think that's kind of exciting. We're going to divide it equally between men's doubles, women's doubles, mixed doubles, and men's and women's singles. So with the amount that we have, we're going to divide them in between, and then of course divide it up amongst the different skill levels.
Okay. All right. So when is that? I want to come to North Carolina.
All right.
But
well,
okay, but that'll be if not this one though. But
well,
yes,
they're looking for a date for me for the beginning of November. That will be I Love Pickleball North Carolina 4.
yeah, they're just going to keep getting better. And what a beautiful state you live in.
Thank you. We love it. I mean, and we're centered right in the middle of the state. You have the coast, which is the Outer Banks and Wilmington, and Kill Devil Hills. I mean, you can come in here, and if you have time, you can go to the Wright Brothers, where the Wright Brothers pickle. You go to the mountains, you go to Boone, North Carolina, and you see the changing of the leaves. I mean, they're incredible.
Yeah.
State. We have Duke, we have UNC, we have State. If you notice, my shirt's light blue. There's a reason for that.
Yeah, my daughter went to University of North Carolina.
Okay.
Yeah, she loved it. But okay, well, have a wonderful day, and thank you again for your time.
One thing. At the Ephesus Church, Ephesus Park in Chapel Hill.
Yes.
Anson Dorrance, the women's the women's soccer coach, who has won 21 national championships, is playing pickleball.
Yeah. Oh, that's so exciting. Have you seen her play?
No, it's a him.
It's a him. Oh, okay. It's him.
Oh, yes, he's quite good. I haven't gotten
to
play with him, but he's quite good.
Yeah, I love hearing about other athletes taking up pickleball.
Well, I'll just tell two quick stories.
Okay, no, wait.
Oh,
Larry,
okay.
you are gonna keep doing this. I know it.
I,
You're gonna go, oh.
I promise this will be the
No,
last.
you know what? We have got to end here. Yeah, because I've
Okay,
got to
excellent.
a lot of post productions, stuff to get to. So yeah, yeah. So okay, I'm gonna say goodbye.
All right. Well, thank you.
Okay,
Pickleball,
you
yeah,
keep
I
going.
appreciate this.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. Okay.
All
Bye,
right.
Larry.
All
Bye.
right. Bye bye.